Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Javier In The Air. For those of you who have not seen my show before, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to my little corner of the internet. So today we have a good show for you, chock full of goodness. We're going to start off with the Trash in the Hood, which I'll go to here in a bit, and we're going to go show a little bit of the Be the Light Craft Fair that was going on yesterday. Long time participant of my show, Crazy Stacy, was out there, has built this into a really great craft fair, and the proceeds go to the YMCA. So the proceeds from booth rental space and the blind auction that they had. And then we'll go into our Zen Moment for the day and the week. And we'll follow that up with Healthy After 50. And then finally we'll close with Spirit Time. So I say we, but it's really just me and the crew here, which is me. So we're going to get to that. Let's go ahead and get, before actually I start the Trash in the Hood, I had some people reach out to me last week asking about how I started with that. I know some of you are bored already because you've already heard me say this a couple times. But as of 41 weeks ago, I started walking around my neighborhood, and at the same time I realized that there's a lot of trash on the curbs and on the grass in between the house and the little grass that you see between the sidewalk and the curb, if you have that side of the street. Other side of the street sometimes doesn't have a sidewalk at all, but there's a lot of trash that I saw in the curb and on the drainage that we have there in the street. So I took it upon myself to hold myself accountable to walking by making sure that I started picking up trash. So it's not the trash that's coming from any of the garbage containers. It's not that. The trash team is doing a great job, and I've never seen anything fall out of a trash can in my neighborhood or anything like that. This is from the sad individuals that throw stuff out of their car, throw stuff on the road when they're walking, when they're running, when they're out doing whatever throughout the neighborhood, and a lot of cigarette butts. So you'll see what I'm talking about. I managed to get out 4 days, I believe, this week. So I'll have that here in a moment. So for those of you who asked, I've been doing this for 41 weeks. I still enjoy doing it, even though I'm picking up the dredge of what society leaves behind. I am careful, make sure that I do not get any pricks or any cuts from any of the garbage that I pick up. I try not to pick up anything organic. And if you know what I mean, like dog leavings. And I try to be mindful of everything that I pick up. I don't drag people's names into the fray, so to speak. I don't mark down people's addresses. I do mark down the streets that I am going in and out of, and that is it. I do not take pictures of houses. And also, for those of you who also asked, like I mentioned last week, I do not go onto private property. I do not want to get involved in any altercations in any way, so I stay on public property at all times. So if you happen to have some garbage on your lawn, I'm not getting it. That's not my place to be. I can pick up the stuff on my lawn, but no one else's. So let's go ahead and see what we got from week 41. Here we go. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood, week 41. Hey everybody, week 41, day 1. Very little cigarette butts. I was quite surprised, but there was a lot of big stuff. Like there was a pair of skivvies, water bottle, crushed beer can, crushed water can, some flyers from junk mail that someone just decided to throw after they got it out of their mailbox, some sort of thing to hold a person's hair back, some straws, and an old mask. It looks like from during COVID days, which I just found. Here's day 2. You see the increase of cigarette butts, a lot of candy wrappers, some trimmer line, the box plus some trimmer line, bunch of beverage containers, water containers to go, cups to go container, a holder like that, more food wrappers, and some pieces of terracotta pots. This was over by the school. I keep finding a bunch of pieces of a terracotta pot that keep getting exposed as the days go by. This is this is day 4, and you see a lot more cigarette butts on this route. This was along El Salito, I believe. A bunch of water cans, a bunch of beverage, beer cans, beer bottles, water bottles, bits of string and plastic and paper. And underneath all those cans and bottles is like a piece of a fender that I found that was in the middle of the road, and I decided to take it out to make sure there was no issues. This is day 6. This was the coffee or Java walk that I usually go on that takes me meandering through different streets to get to Mojo Coffee. You see cigarette butts, some sort of battery cable right next to it, vape pen, beer bottle, some sort of weird sauce packet, bunch of other candy wrappers, and then a almost a fully degraded Pine House pizza box. So there you go. And there you have it. So there's the trash in the hood that I have been talking about. Um, Lot this week. I managed to get out 4 days this week, so that's good for me health wise. Disappointed. There were times a couple weeks ago where I was beginning to see what I thought was a downward trend as to the amount of trash that I was finding. But if you notice, on this week, everything's back to normal as far as the amount of trash that I find. Same way with the cigarette butts. It was very interesting and rare for me to find only 2. I have yet to have a day where it was 0. And the record currently for 2023, I believe, is 41 cigarette butts. So I do get to go a lot of different places. For those of you who don't know, I go mainly in what I consider my hood, anywhere that I can reach from my house on Hickory Drive. So I know I've had some people, why don't you go here, why don't you go there? Because I have enough trash in my neighborhood. So if you live in a neighborhood that I'm not reaching, maybe you can start up and get some co-workers, friends, family to go with you and start picking up trash. I have been told by a couple of people that they are now picking up trash as well, which I really appreciate. And maybe that's why I'm beginning to see ups and downs as far as a lot of trash one day and not so much trash the next day, because other people are hitting the same streets I am. So I try to go as far as I can. So if you want to put a dot on Hickory Drive and then outwards of, say, 1.5 miles, and then do a diameter of 1.5 miles, no, a radius of 1.5 miles, let's put it that way, and then make a full circle from there, you'll see the distance that I'm able to travel. So but that's because I'm walking. I'm not driving anywhere to walk, I'm just walking. Okay, so let's now take a look at, like I said, I'm sorry, Stacy, I didn't get as much coverage as I thought I would out there. I was not feeling 100%, so I only did what I could, and then I went home and slept the rest of the day. So why don't we take a look at what I do have for the Be the Light craft fair. So the Be the Light craft fair has been going on for quite some time now. I believe this is the 6th iteration of it, put on by Crazy Stacy and her team that put together this a couple times a year, so that money from the booth space rental and from the auction is put to a good cause, which is for the YMCA youth activities that go on there. This was a picture of a gentleman who has a wood turning or a lathe device, and he makes all these great little things using the lathe, including the bowl that you see there, and like the candy jars or jars that you see behind him that are all wood. Really fantastic. I got a chance to talk to this gentleman, and he does a really fantastic job. Here are some more of them. Beside the pizza cutters, you see some cork stoppers and some more of the different things that he does. Very highly polished, which you can do on the lathe if you don't know much about lathe work. And he's doing a really nice job. He's thinking that if things go well, eventually he might increase and get a larger lathe so he can do bigger projects. But he did great. This was a young man out there that does epoxy and CNC work. You see some of the boards, butcher boards that he has out there, and this fun one that is the Millennium Falcon. And he has a couple of other Millennium Falcons. You can see some of them to the left there. Did really good work, and I got a chance to talk to him a lot more this show. And so he's just been doing it for a while. There's two more. One of them is like a dish towel rack, and then the other one is another butcher block type thing, but he filled it in with a, I think it was called Celestial Blue Epoxy. So he did a really nice job. So unfortunately, I didn't get to do much else at the fair because I wasn't feeling well, so I did get to leave. But I wanted to highlight these two gentlemen that were doing fantastic woodwork out there. Okay, so there was some of the highlights of the Be the Light Craft Fair 2023 May. So I believe they'll do one again in the late fall, early winter, I think, and we'll know more about that. Let me take off my glasses so I don't get that ring light showing up as much. You can see it in my pupils if you can get really close to it. Anyway. So I apologize to Crazy Stacy and all the other vendors that were out there. They had a lot of vendors out there yesterday, even though it was overcast and muggy. They were doing a great job. We got there early, and they were still enthusiastic, and it looked like a lot of people were coming in as we were leaving. So if you didn't get a chance to get out there, there will be, I'm sure, another one later on this year that you'll be able to go to. And it's just getting bigger and more delightful and more exciting, and there's a lot more vendors out there. There's a lot of vendors that I hadn't seen before, which is great, which means the word's getting out, and it's first come, first serve for the first 60 spots, or for these 60 spots. And so if you are interested and you do a craft of some sort, and you'd like to either be on my show, Javier In The Air, and the handle is Javier In The Air 01 on YouTube, or you'd like to know more about it, you can go to the Be the Light Craft Fair, Be the Light group. Ask to be invited. Stacy and her admins, I'm sure one of them will let you into the group, and then you can post about what you're going to do at the next craft fair. I believe there's also documents available so that you can apply for the next craft fair, and so on and so forth. So Crazy Stacy is the one to talk to, and for those of you who don't know, we call her Crazy Stacy because that's her jelly products, and it's a nice name that she goes by. So she'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. And as they are coming off of the great fair yesterday, I'm sure there'll be a couple of weeks before they do announce anything else or post anything else, and then you can certainly get a hold of them. Okay, so let's go to our Zen Moment. By the way, I'm still trying to keep this under 30 minutes, so let's see how I do this week. Zen Moment. And there we have our Zen Moment for the first week of May. Let's put it that way. First weekend of May, actually, I should say. So those of you who have asked in the past, and for those of you who are new, I use an editing software that has some royalty-free music, and so all the music that I play the past 4 seasons has been royalty-free, and that is because I am not allowed to post anything that's not royalty-free without a whole bunch of hoops that I have to jump through. Plus, if you don't do it in the right order, Google's gonna block it, or YouTube's gonna block it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, I found it best to just use royalty free. And for a while, I was going out and going to a royalty free site where you pay a membership and then you can download um, music. But I wasn't finding anything that great, and the snippets, they were way too short. So I decided to go through Wondershare Filmora, which is my editing software. I didn't realize that they had royalty-free music the first couple episodes of season 1. Then I got smart and started exploring the editing software, and so I am now able to pull down a lot of royalty-free music that they have. I pay a membership for Wondershare, so I'm still paying for it, but they call it royalty-free as I don't have to go through extra hoops to get to make sure that the royalties are paid. They are paid by, I think, on a contract basis, and they submit them to Wondershare. They get accepted, and they get used by millions of editors like myself. So if you want to know what that kind of pay structure is, I have no idea. You'd have to go through Wondershare. I'm assuming everything is on the up and up, and hopefully it is. Okay, so now let's go to our Healthy After 50. Dark Frog Social Media presents Healthy After 50. Hey everybody, Healthy After 50. So today we're going to talk a little bit about mobility on your upper body, say your shoulders on up. So now, once again, the caveat is I am not a medical practitioner of any sort. I don't have a medical license, nor am I even close to one. These are exercises that should be low impact. If you feel any pain at any time, even starting to do some of these exercises, don't do it. I don't recommend you doing it if you are in pain of some sort. And if you are really in a bad way, go see your doctor or medical practitioner first before you start any kind of exercise regimen. So even though these are low-key, you can do from your chair while you're at work or you're just resting at home, I don't care. If you're not feeling good and you're having pain that you're not used to, you're not accustomed to, go and see a doctor, find out what's going on. So there could be more than one underlying condition of some sort that is stopping you, and maybe these exercises will make it more pronounced so that it will tell you to go. So if you start feeling any pain during it, stop, go get yourself checked out. Okay, so I sit a lot right now because I'm not retired yet, even though I'm in my 50s. I know, surprise, right? I do a lot of sitting for hours at a time. I try to, especially when I'm at home, I try to get up every hour to hour and a half. Doesn't always happen. To try to shake loose my legs and shake loose my joints and shake loose everything that should shake loose, not the stuff that shouldn't. And try to stay mobile, because the more hours that you sit in the chair, the worse it is for your body. The older it gets, the even more worse it is for your body. So some of the things I like to do are, I showed you finger exercises last week. So the finger exercises are something that will help your hands and knuckles and all your joints of your hand try to stay a little bit more limber. So definitely recommend doing some of those so that your hands, especially if you are already beginning to feel some pain, some maybe early onset arthritis, try to keep your hands more warm and limber. So do some finger exercises. Also, if you are in the same position, repetitive motion a lot, you want to make sure that you do some hand and wrist movements. You want to do some hands over sides. Excuse the flabby arms that you saw there. You want to be sure You don't have to crack your neck, which I don't recommend cracking your neck. I myself don't like to crack my neck. I don't like hearing that sound, and I always feel like something's going to happen when it does. So, but you can still stretch out your neck downwards, upwards, side to side, and then the old right, left to the shoulder blades, to the shoulders, I should say. So try to get, and then try to get up and walk around if you can. So the best thing you can do is always try to stay mobile. I recommend getting up every hour. Like I said, I don't do it myself. I don't practice what I preach. But definitely, as we get older, we want to try to move around more. Especially if you're not doing any other exercises. If you're not getting out and walking in the afternoon, if you're not getting out and exercising of some sort before you go to work, then the best thing to do is to try to get some exercises going. I also recommend, if you can, a rising desk. I know some of my siblings totally recommend those, and you get to stand a little bit more. You get that circulation going through your extremities, and it may hurt at first if you're not used to standing for long periods of time, but the great thing about a desk like that is that you can do it in short periods. When you start feeling pain or discomfort to the point where you can't get your work done, then you can just and bring it on down, and you can sit back down. So I'm going to be showing some more exercises throughout the next couple of weeks that you can do. And these are not only for people who are sitting for long hours at work. This is also for those of you who have already retired and aren't on the go all the time and need something to do to try to make sure that you stay mobile. Because the more mobile you can stay, the longer you can go, the longer you can live. And thanks a lot. Hey everybody. That was our Healthy After 50 section. So if you notice over the seasons, if you've been around long enough, I change it up quite a bit. This season I brought in the Healthy After 50. I also brought in a section called Bottom Line, but I wasn't getting much feedback or positive feedback about that, so I kind of dropped that for now. If something comes up throughout society, I might bring it up again. It had a lot to do with working, and so maybe that's why nobody wanted to watch it. Not my work, but just working in general. And so Trash in the Hood has gotten very positive results, so I've been keeping that. If you see something that you'd like to perhaps have changed, please send me some feedback. I'm always willing to look at anything and everything that gets sent to me. You can also leave comments in my on this blog. I keep wanting to say podcast, but I've been corrected many times that it's blog. And leave comments or thoughts or suggestions there. If you know me on Facebook, you can leave it to me there. I also post on Instagram, and you can always just find me just about anywhere. Be sure and search for Javier In The Air, not On The Air. On The Air is somebody else. I don't know who he is, but he is what I would call right-leaning, and very much so. And so you're not going to be confused over my show as compared to his show, especially because he doesn't look anything like me. Okay, so now we're getting to that time where we want to try to get it to 30 minutes. So I have now, real quick, I'm going to do a spirit time. So let's get to spirit time. Dark Frog Social Media presents Spirit Time. This week, The Statement of Purpose by Martin House Brewing Company. Hey everybody. I am keeping my glasses on for this one because I need my peepers in order to read the can. I tried to do it last time and I did a poor job of it. So this is called The Statement of Purpose, and it is by, let me see if I can get them all the way up here. So, well, I'll have to look up this way so that you can see me, so I can face the camera. Okay, so this is called The Statement of Purpose by Martin House Brewing Company out of Fort Worth, Texas. So, local boy, Texas, or girl. This is 8% ABV, and it is a peanut butter golden stout. So let's see if they have any extra markings on here. They do not, but I want to show you the can because it's really cool. So here is the statement of purpose, peanut butter golden stout, and you can see at the top Martin House. Well, let's go this way because you can already see a Martin. I think that's what they're going by. I think that's a Martin. I hope I am. If not, people at the Martin House, you can correct me by sending me some beers so that I can review as well. So Martin House Brewing Company out of Fort Worth, Texas. As you see at the bottom, it says made in Texas by Texans. Where's that finger? There it is. Texans. And there's the 8% to ABV. So as I've been doing lately, I've been mixing up the glasses because I have a lot of bar glasses. So here is Kona Brewing Company. Kona Brewing Company out of Kona, Hawaii. And this was their Liquid Aloha. And it also has longboard lager on it. So there's the glass. Alright, so let's open this puppy up. So, peanut butter stout, here we go. Get that nice long head on there, no pun intended. So we're going to let this settle for a bit. As you can see, a nice golden color, as you would expect from something called peanut butter golden stout. So we should be getting some good notes of everything here. I still don't see anything on the can that talks about the notes or anything like that. But here we go. I'm getting mostly foam right now, but my mustache might bring down the specific gravity so it gets rid of the suds. Very nice. For a stout, it's very light, hence golden stout. You definitely get the peanut butter in there for sure, especially when you're sucking down a lot of the foam like I was just doing. I did manage to get a little bit of the beer itself, non-foam, and it's very good, very light, very refreshing. Though I taste a lot of the peanut butter, I still get notes of it being a stout itself. Oh, tickle my nose there. So I'm very happy with this. Not very strong on the peanut butter smell. You definitely do get the aroma of a stout, even though it is golden. And I've seen this in a couple of instances now, a golden stout, as opposed to the dark stouts that most people are normally used to seeing. So I do like this. I think it's very refreshing, even though it's an 8% ABV, so it's going to hit heavy on the alcohol end if you're not used to it. I can still consider this a starter, especially if I'm out at the boutique having some beer. I like it. I don't think I would pair this with anything. I know a lot of people like to pair a lot of beers with food. And I try my best every now and then, but I don't know if I would pair this with anything. I think I like it just the way it is, and anything else would kind of ruin it. Like I wouldn't want to have a peanut butter sandwich with it, but then again, I also wouldn't want to have a steak with this. I think I would just enjoy it for what it is, which is a really good golden stout. So I'm going to go ahead and give this 8 thumbs up. 8 thumbs up out of 10, so fantastic. Way to go, Martin House Brewing Company. If you think you should have a higher grade Martin House, feel free to send me out some samples, a flight or something, or invite me to your brewery, and I will get out there, maybe with Brother Rob, maybe with a few others, and we can do some more in-depth tasting. So there you have it. Statement of purpose. Well, that is the show. That is it. Got it into 29 and a half minutes, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to me. If you want to send me something, please do. Have a good rest, or have a good beginning of your week, and I will see y'all again next week. Thanks a lot, everyone.